Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I just finished watching this series premiere of Parish and now I'm ready to talk about it, so let's get into it. So right at the beginning, we find out that we are in New Orleans. We can see the Superdome in the background. Then we see Parish. We find out that's his name. Actually, people call him Gray. So right from the start, Gray is in a sticky situation. He's trying to get away from the cops. We don't know why, but he does successfully get away. He's able to get away from the cops, park his car, and we find out that his troubling story started 7 days prior. We see that after the credits roll, Parish goes about his normal daily activities. He gets ready for work. He goes to a meeting trying to get a loan because his business is in trouble. We find out that his son has passed away. We find out that Parish used to be some type of a criminal, or probably a driver at this point. You know, later we find out that is for sure, but he meets a friend who used to be in that life with him, and he talks about going back to it. Then he goes home, finds out that his wife has put their home up for sale because they can't make the mortgage. He's not happy about that, and then we see him in the middle of the night getting up and going out for a drive, and he's with one of his former criminal buddies who has spent some time in prison. They have a night of riding around, and the buddy tells him about a job that he needs him to do, and at first Parish says no, but we know he's going to do it because Parish needs the money. And right now, I'm really picking up a very strong Walter White and Jesse Pinkman vibe. It could just be that just because this is Giancarlo Esposito, but this is what it feels like right now. And I'm really, really digging the show so far, at this point. See that Parish is still very much grieving for the loss of his son. We don't know what happened to him just yet, but we find out that it has been a year, or it's his son's first birthday since he passed. Okay, that's the better way to say it. But yeah, Parish is still very much grieving for his son. We see him. I assume this is where his son was killed, in whatever way he was killed. We don't know yet. I guess we'll find that out later as the show goes on. It wasn't in this episode. But, I'm really anxious to find out. I want to know what happened to his son. Parish spends some time here. Gray, that's what they call him. This is Gray. His friends call him Gray. So we'll call him Gray because I feel like we're his friend. But anyway, he spends some time grieving for his son. And then he goes home, and his family, they're kind of doing their own thing to celebrate the son's birthday. And, they feel that loss too. And Parish Gray says some things that don't sit really well with his daughter. And we find out from her that she kind of feels, even before the son passed away, that Parish or Gray did not give her the time that she needed. He was all about the son, and she often feels neglected. The next scene is Parish or Gray. He's going to his friends that offered him the job. His name's Colin. He's at his boat, and he has gone to accept the job. And I think he takes the job out of they need money. But I also feel like this is part of him working through his grief for whatever happened to his son. He needs, he's in need of something. And I think he thinks this will maybe, I don't know, he may not even know why he's going back to this, but his friend does need his help because his friend is in a lot of danger because his friend promised a willman thinking that, or a will man thinking that Gray would do it. And he ended up being right. So Gray comes to his aid, and they have to go meet the guy who is in charge, who calls himself the Horse. So Gray goes to meet the Horse, and they have a conversation, kind of feeling each other out. They kind of have this back and forth a little bit, and it seems that they both approve of each other because the Horse wants him to do the job, and Gray accepts. They go back into the house, and the brother of the Horse gives Gray a phone and tells him when they call, he better answer. And it's time to do the job. Gray goes home, and on his way, he finds his daughter walking and offers her some of his time to give her some driving lessons, and she jumps at the chance. But while they're having their driving lessons, the call comes in from the Horse. It's time to do the job, and Gray has to cut the driving lesson short and go do this job, and we get to find out what it is. Now we are all caught up with the beginning of the show. Gray picks up a car, then he goes to a house and picks up this fella right here. and takes him to the building that they are going to rob a safe in. When they get there, the guy, we don't know his name, he meets up with Colin. Colin follows them to an office, and he's trying to let him into a safe, but he doesn't have the right code. He calls a partner in the building, asking for the code. He gets the code, but they call the police, and Gray has to act quickly. He sets the burner car on fire. We get the car chase that we saw at the beginning. We don't see it here, but we've already seen it. And he is able to handle things because he is an experienced wheelman, and he gets the car to where it needs to be. He has the package that they were supposed to get, and the horse should be happy. So we see that Gray, Colin, and this man that they hired to get them into the safe that worked in the building where the safe was, we see that they are back at Parish's business. He owns some type of a car shop, and they're there. They're waiting for the horse and the horse's people to come pick up the package. They show up, and the horse is actually not very happy because he wanted things to go a certain way. He wanted it to be quiet, and he questions them, and he realizes that it's the man's fault because he didn't actually have the code, and it was his fault that the police show up. And he gives his brother the okay to kill the man. He beats him to death with a crowbar, leaving a mess in Parish's business. He pays Parish, and we are left with Parish not being happy about the way things are, wondering what kind of people did he just get involved with. And so we know things are not going to go good for Gray, and he's going to have to try to get himself out of this giant mess that he's in right now. So overall, I really enjoyed this first episode. I can't wait to see more. It does have a very much has a Breaking Bad feel to it. If I was going to rate this episode, I feel like the pacing was good. I feel like we got a lot of story. There's there's still some stuff that we don't know, which, that'll be good to uncover as we go along. Like his past, what happened to his son, who are these people that he's working for. He doesn't want to do this, but he didn't feel like he had much of an option. He needed the money, and he wanted to help his friend. And I do think that he is searching for something to fill this hole that he's experiencing from the loss of his son. So if I had to rate this, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. But I really look forward to seeing more of the show. It is very violent, and I enjoy that kind of show, sometimes. And it's really neat to see Giancarlo Esposito on the other side of this, because, the last time we saw him this type of show, he was Gus Fring, and he was the guy to be feared. And now he's the guy that has to fear someone else. So that is really neat. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And I look forward to seeing where this show goes from here. And that's really all I have for you. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you've seen this and you enjoyed it, let me know what you think. I look forward to reading your comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.